But we do begin with that gunman in the Buffalo supermarket mass shooting, pleading guilty to all state charges in court today. Those charges, including domestic terrorism motivated by hate, murder, and attempted murder. He also faces more than 24 federal charges. It's been 6 months since this gunman killed 10 black people and wounded several others during what police call a racially motivated attack. For more, let's bring in ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Kadursky and host and legal analyst at Law and Crime Network, Terry Austin. Let's go ahead and start with you, Aaron. That gunman originally pled not guilty, actually, to all the charges, but today it was a complete 360. He pled guilty and waived his right to an appeal. So why now?
His lawyer said to spare the community the aggravation and the pain of having to go through a trial, perhaps also, Kira, to focus on the federal charges, more than 24 of them, which do carry the possibility of a death sentence should the federal government decide to go that way. So he made the choice, Peyton Gendron did, to plead guilty to these state charges, knowing full well that he in all likelihood will spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. And you heard the district attorney today talk about there being no doubt that this was a hate-filled, based on white supremacist ideology kind of an attack that was carried out with the specific intent to kill as many black people as possible.
Terry, what do you think about the strategy here?
I think it's a good strategy. I don't think there's any other option. There's so much evidence against this defendant, the fact that it's all on video. And he thought, well, let me just plead guilty here on all of these counts. They have everything they need to convict me in any event. Why waste the time of the courtroom? So I do think it was a good strategic move, and it could help him as far as those federal charges are concerned. Maybe the DOJ will take that death sentence and take it right off the table and not even charge that.
Oh, wow. Aaron, you want to follow up on that? Because as Terry just mentioned, that gunman does face more than 24 federal charges, some of which carry the possibility of the death penalty. So what could we see happen here?
Well, the feds will now understand that he's not going anywhere. He will be spending, in all likelihood, the rest of his life in prison on the state case. The Attorney General has not made a firm decision, and we wouldn't expect one for quite some time, although the last time Gendron was in federal court, the judge asked the federal government to really get on with it because it is such a big decision, and preparing for that kind of trial is a little bit different than if it were off the table. So that's all still forthcoming. The cases are adjudicated separately. But Kira, Peyton Gendron now being effectively convicted of murder as a result of hate makes it much more difficult to defend, I would say, on the federal side. Not that they're the same charges, and perhaps he can mount some kind of a defense, but the jury will undoubtedly know that Peyton Gendron was convicted of murdering 10 people and doing so because he was motivated by this white supremacist ideology.
Right, and Terry, he is scheduled to be sentenced on February 15th of next year. So let's talk about what happens until that point.
Well, you know, I think they will be focusing on the federal case, even though obviously they have to prepare for sentencing. You'll get impact statements there, but it's a pretty done deal. It's an A1 felony here. He'll probably get that life without parole. I think the victims and their families are going to see justice here, and it was swift justice. I do think the investigation went very quickly and all the parts came together, and now we're seeing in less than a year the fact that this individual was indicted, arraigned, and now he's pled guilty to all of these charges. So kudos to everyone involved as far as that's concerned.
All right, Terry Austin, Aaron Kadursky, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.